Spa-Francorchamps remains the challenging and favorite venue on the Grand Prix calendar. A race circuit was proposed in Spa as early as 1895, and the region had hosted the Circuit des Ardennes event at Bastogne. And since 1902, they race on a closed section of the public road. In the early 1920s, Jules Detier, owner of Liège newspaper, racing driver Tenglois Van Oppem, and Spa mayor Joseph de Croix were looking for a location for the race. It was decided that the roads from Spa-Francorchamps to the Malmedy in the Eupen-Malmedy region to Stavelot and back towards Francorchamps form an ideal triangle-shaped circuit. The first race was scheduled for August 1921 at the 15-kilometer-long circuit, but it was cancelled due to lack of competitors. Only one driver entered. It was replaced instead for motorcycle race. In 1924, only 1 year after Le Mans, the famous 24 Hours of Francorchamps was held. Meanwhile, the European Grand Prix, the first significant international race event for single-seater, took place in 1925. The circuit saw little change in its early years. In 1939, the former customs disappeared, and the famous Ride-Along was born. Spa-Francorchamps, like many other circuits in Europe, was hit by artillery during the Second World War, and the racing didn't start until 1947, when repair of the circuit were completed. In 1949, 30 permanent pits are built, including 10 with grandstand. The first Formula One season began in 1950, with Spa hosting the fifth race of the 7-round season. In 1969, the Belgian Grand Prix was boycotted by the F1 drivers because no safety improvements were made to the circuit, and the weather in the area is unpredictable. This safety issue led to closing of the old circuit in the early 1970s. Formula One would not return to Spa until 1983. Despite the closure, the famous 24 hours race continued. In 1979, a new section of permanent circuit was built to create a much shorter circuit, resulting in a new 6.9-kilometer track that was half than the original distance. As a result, the car left the normal route before Les Combes and traveling down the valley before returning to the original track before Blanchemont. Spa-Francorchamps remained long and challenging circuit, but now it was safer and easier to navigate. Formula One came back to this circuit in 1983 following the new layout. However, the MotoGP race was approaching its final race on the track. Spa hosted its last MotoGP Grand Prix in 1990. And again in 2003, the Grand Prix was cancelled because of dispute within the European Union about tobacco advertising at the event and bankruptcy of the main investor in 2005. The Wallonian government stepped in and provided the required funding. Despite the local Wallonia government's funding, the renovation to the paddock and the track itself arrived too late to secure the 2006 race. A new investor was found and additional work was completed. A 19 million euro funding investment saw the construction of a new infrastructure and layout. Although there have been many horrific accidents at Spa throughout the year, but this circuit also had some unforgettable moments like Michael Schumacher made his debut in 1991, Damon Hill scored Jordan's first victory in 1998 after a crash at the first start of the race, Hamilton and Raikkonen exciting battle in 2008, Leclerc's win in Ferrari in 2019, and more.